Hello my fellow riders and welcome back to Riding Reviews. Today we're going to be going around the sanctuary in Milton Keynes just to show that you can do more than just ride your bike. It opens up a big possibility of lots of social things as well. So if you do want to ask me any questions, I will answer them as best I can. But at the minute we're going to go around and we're going to have a look at everybody's bikes, so stay tuned. Is there anyone on there yet? Harley Davidson, Triumph. Now this, the Sanctuary is mainly designed for Chinese motorcycles, but it doesn't matter what you ride, as long as you ride something. So come down, have a go, have a look for your local centre or somewhere for people to come and get together on their motorcycles. There is one everywhere. There'll be one in your local area or in major cities. Lots of different clubs for lots of different type of motorcycles. You've got scooter ones, motorcycle ones, but there you go. I hope you can hear me all right. It's a new piece of equipment, so I don't actually know whether or not it works properly yet. But we're going to keep on having a look. You've got Triumph. Don't know.
Big wheels on that. Are about 2 or 3 inches.
Quite often you, it doesn't matter what you ride. It doesn't matter if it's a really nice bike. It doesn't matter if it's got crash damage. Nobody's going to say anything to you about your bike. That one's got a ribbed seat. Doesn't really matter. Yamaha. Honda. We're going to go and have a look inside at some point just to see what they offer motorbike wise. We are going to do another video at some point. It's very loud at the minute because there is a food van here, there is a live band, and everybody wants to give their engine a little bit of a tweak and rev it up. At the Bike Sanctuary as well, they do offer you test drives. Now, if you've got a CBT, you're not going to be able to ride these bikes and they will not offer you it. But if you have a full license, you can come down and test one of their bikes. They do provide insurance, but if you do have an accident, you will have to pay something. I don't know exactly what it is, but there you go. Benelli Zero, very expensive electric bike. Remember, if you do have any questions, I'll answer anything you've got. Honda. Not with me. Me personally, when buying a bike or choosing a bike, I like cheap. I like something with something wrong with it, because it means I can fix it. And like the bike I'll show you in a minute is my Kawasaki. If you remember my videos previously, I did get that bike for 50 quid. You can get one, you might not be able to get it for 50 quid, but you may be able to get something along those sort of lines that you can mess with. Now, it doesn't matter if you're any good at it. Buy a cheap bike, mess about with it. If you break it, shit happens. You can go, you can buy, get somebody else to have a look, and just have fun. Don't care what anybody else tells you. Just do what you want to do on your bike.
Brian in Brisbane asks, are there any sidecars here?
Not sidecars, there is a three-wheeler. Hello Brian, how's it going? Brian's been with my channel for about 3 years now. He bought a bike off of us, which was SS50 replica, which he loved. There is actually a video on my channel that Brian did, that I did upload, so if you want to check that out, it's I'll leave a link in the description once I re-edit this video. CBR? Now I don't know if you're going to be able to hear me or not. It is going to get rather loud because if you look up there, there's a live band. This is the thing. Me, I'm a little bit of a loner, but I did make a little bit of an effort to come out and join the festivities, as we say. And everybody here is really welcoming. There's loads of different type of people. Doesn't matter if you're weird like me, you can stand around doing videos, or weird like other people. Age doesn't matter. And even if you haven't...
How do I get to the comments?
Huh?
How do I get the comments? That's right. So Kevin Norton says, what do you think of the Keyway V Cruise?
The same thing with all Chinese motorcycles. Maintenance is the key. The V125s or the V250s, they're really nice. They've got a little bit more but they're never going to be racing machines. So this is something that you've got to take into consideration. If you want something that's going to go super fast, not a 125, maybe something a little bit bigger, say on your A2 license, you need to get Honda, Kawasaki, Suzuki, CF Moto, something along those lines. Hope that answered your question. Apparently somewhere here there is Red Bomb as well. He said he was coming, and he's another YouTuber from Milton Keynes. So I don't know where he is, I don't know how he is, but he said he was going to be here. So. Now this is a 50 pound motorcycle that we got. The only thing that I've done to this after buying it for £50 is do an MOT and stick a new set of tyres on. This bike will do over 120, 130 miles an hour. And you could get that, be realistic, you can buy one of these for about £400. So it actually works, it has an MOT. Always go through them anyway, but you can get one for about £400 to £500, so it'll do 130, 140 miles an hour. Now, don't you think that's kind of scary? You can buy something that nobody's maintained, that you can go out on the road on. Maybe you know what you're doing, maybe you don't, but you can go and you can do 130 miles an hour on a bike that may kill you. A scary thought.
Right, there's the Kawasaki came up nice. And thanks for the shout out.
Look at my nice polish, my scratches. They're not my scratches. I didn't do that. But look at them.
He said he's got a couple of raffle tickets too.
All right, cool. At the minute, I think last time I checked, there was 18 people bought raffle tickets. So somebody's going to get it. It's not going to be me. It'll be one of you guys. So go check out the link. There should be a link at the bottom of this video to raffle.co.uk, or actually it's raffle.net/riding reviews, and buy one of those raffle tickets. So we're going to go inside now. It may be a little bit noisy, but we're going to have a look. And I will say that I'm getting some weird looks. People think I'm a little bit weird doing a YouTube video. But that's alright. The things I do for you guys. Another thing you've got to consider as well, when you're buying clothing for motorcycles, buy one with the fly works, because it's really annoying when you've got to pull your fly up every 5 freaking minutes. Muc-off helmet? Yeah. I don't know why you would buy a muc-off helmet, but there you go.
One problem. That's it. One time fuse.
One of the first Chinese bikes I've seen. But that's a little bit different to the WK version. These ones have a lot bigger wheels. And as you can see, he's had a little bit of an accident at some point. But that's another thing with motorcycling. The chances of a brand new rider having an accident is actually fairly high. I would say it's as much as 60%. So if you do fall off and you don't actually hurt yourself, which that's normally the way that it happens, you might have a bruise or something, but you don't usually break anything. Get up, get back on your bike, have another go. If you fall off again, Chinese bikes are cheap, all the parts are cheap, you can repair it cheap. So there you go. Anybody else have any questions? Any more questions? This is more my sort of thing. Something that's old, it's seen some years, needs a little bit of TLC, but it probably runs lovely. And if you buy something that doesn't look very good, put your own touch on it. Paint it the way you want it, not the way the manufacturer wants it. Get yourself one of those the cans from Halfords. It's square black, a little bit of lacquer, a little bit of T-cut. Polish it up, it looks awesome. One thing you could probably tell as you're walking around, everybody's having a chat. If you do want to come down, just go up to people, talk to them, ask them how they are, ask them about their bike. There's no reason why anybody wouldn't want to talk about their pride and joy. So just come down, have a chat. You're going to go inside and have a look at some of the shiny new motorcycles. Is from Lexmoto, or Lexmoto's sister brand, which is Vogue. Lexmoto are doing something really weird at the minute. They're separating their company into loads of different things. So they've got the Lexmoto, they've got Vogue. They were doing, I can't remember the other name for it now, but they were doing other brands. Lexmoto had a really good thing going where they would get all these different type of bikes, and they would brand them all as Lexmoto. Everybody knows, well, not everybody, most people know what a Lexmoto is. The problem is now is they're starting to bring in other brands and calling them. So if this was me, I would call this bike a Lexmoto Vogue 300. But they don't, they call it a Vogue. Just a Vogue. This dilutes their brand a little bit. As you would have seen before, I've actually done a review on this bike. It's alright, the range is a little bit limited, but there you go. You're going to get somewhere in the region of 35 to 40 miles. Is that enough? Maybe. The 14,000 watt peak thing doesn't really mean anything. So this is a 6,000 watt 125cc equivalent motorcycle that says it has a peak output of 14,000 watt, but that's just to get you up the hill. It's not going to actually give you anything more whilst riding. 60 miles an hour, and it will do 35 to 40 miles. It does state on their website that it will do more, but this isn't actually true. When you buy any sort of an electric vehicle, you need to reduce the amount that they tell you by approximately 20 to 30%. Now my cameraman's going to have a little bit of trouble now because he's got to avoid all the people and all the bikes whilst looking at the screen. Mondial's a really nice bike. The engine is quite a high output, and this one is 14 horsepower. Now, on some of my other videos, lots of people have been commenting about what the legal limit is for a 125cc motorbike. The legal limit is 14.7 horsepower, not 15. This is the equivalent to 12 kilowatt hours. So anyone who says, like Kawasaki, that they have a 15 horsepower motorcycle is not actually 15 horsepower, it's 14.7. Lots of other manufacturers do this. Take, for instance, the I'm getting me bikes mixed up now. The Lambretta. Take the Lambretta 125cc, 200 and 300. The 125 actually is 125. The 200 is a 160cc, but it's classed as a 200. And the 300 is something like 275. So the full horsepower output of a motorcycle isn't always what they tell you, because they want you to believe that it's the maximum amount possible. So 15 horsepower, but it won't be. It'll be 14.7 or lower. There is a little bit of leeway or artist license, shall we say. This is the CF Moto. They're actually brought into the country by Clements Moto. Clements Moto bring in CF Moto. They also bring in Motorini and some other stuff. It's quite hard doing these videos and then trying to pull all this information out of my brain all at once. When I'm doing the videos not live, I have a script. I think that's actually a KTM. Is it? Yes. A Yamaha. So that's a Yamaha. It is actually second hand. It's 700cc and it's £5,695. I wonder if they'll let me have a go on that. Lots of these motorcycles are going to be awesome to ride, but are they practical? Most of them not, because the UK is limited to 70 miles an hour. Most of these bikes, well, quite a lot of these bikes will do 200 miles an hour. You can't actually do it on the road. If you go any faster than 100 miles an hour, you will lose your license instantly if you get caught. It's all right, mate. This is fun.
What are your vlog on?
Yeah.
This is all Chinese on.
Yes.
So
Well, yeah, quite a bit.
same engine as the KTM has.
Almost.
It's 9890.
Yeah, they'll have almost the same engine. There's a little bit of artistic license.
Okay.
So if you 100% copy a KTM or something like that, they'll sue the hell out of you. If you change little bits, then they won't. What you find with the difference between the Chinese and the Japanese bikes is the output. Chinese are a little bit more conservative. They lower the output.
So I know that a lot of the stuff like KTM, a lot of stuff is managed manufactured in China now, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like assembled in Austria.
every small capacity
Or
bike.
India, is it as well?
Yeah, India do some. Every small capacity bike now is made in China. The BMWs are made in a factory called Zhongsheng.
Yeah.
They make lawnmower engines for Honda. They make majority of the small capacity bikes for everybody else. But their quality control
Yeah.
It's really, really good.
I mean, they've come a long way, haven't they, Charlie?
Yeah.
Some of these bikes.
But back in the 60s, 70s, there was everybody was saying the same about Japanese bikes.
Yeah.
They all wanted English, and it'll be Korean or something else in 5-10 years.
Yeah.
So, no.
It's all your thing, aren't you?
Yep. I'll give you one of my, if I can find it. I've got one in one pocket. All right, maybe I haven't.
What was it? Riding
reviews, yeah.
Oh, you're the Mr. Flyer.
No, not him. So quite a lot of the stuff that we sell at cheapbikesrus is actually from Bike Kit. Obviously here they're Oxford products, but still, essentially they're all the same sort of thing. If you get a bike without a centre stand, these are always a good bet. Get a paddock stand, you can adjust your chain correctly. So again, the Bike Sanctuary has put a lot of effort into appearances. Cheapbikesrus was a little bit of a mess, but here it's not. But there is quite a difference in price. So the average, we only had a couple of jackets at cheapbikesrus, and all of them were like £99. A helmet, the most expensive one we did was about £120, but it was basic. We never had much luck with the old jeans. I'm wearing a pair of the jeans now that cheapbikesrus bought in, and the blooming zip won't stay up, which is really annoying. And it's not because I'm fat. It looks like they're exclusively Oxford products. But I think that's a nice place to end it. We're going to leave it there. I will do some more videos, and I will do a follow-up video in the future when it's a little bit more quiet. Little bit quieter, not a little bit more quiet. But anyway, thank you for joining me on this live look around of the Sanctuary in Milton Keynes. But most importantly, as always, ride safe.